Hello, colleagues, friends, students. This is Dr. Satish Singhal, PhD, with Rose State College, Computer Information Technology Department in Midwest City, near Oklahoma City in Oklahoma. Today I want to demonstrate in Java, and that could be same that could be done in other languages like Visual Basic, C#, or graphical version of C++. Those software problems that require use of both standalone if structure and nested if and else. I generally do one example in the class where I show standalone if structure solving a problem, and then I show that nested if and else is faster. Well, purpose is not to give an impression that standalone if is totally useless. Far from it. There are software problems you cannot solve without both of them, nested if and else and standalone if. Both are useful. Both are required in different software solutions. So I'm going to show one graphical user interface program, and even if you don't know how to do Java graphical user interface, I will at least have you focus on this part, that how nested if else was required in that and how standalone if was required. Okay. First of all, I use Eclipse, so let's go to Eclipse, and I've already pre-built a project. I'm going to show that to you a little bit later, but I still want to show you how to build graphical user interface programs in Eclipse. First of all, you will need to download Windows Builder. That could be for Windows or Mac. Now there are lots of videos on YouTube showing you that, how to do that. For Windows, I've done that quite a while ago, and I'm not going to go through in this video. Just look on YouTube and you'll find some videos how to add Windows Builder plugin to Eclipse so that you can build graphical user interface. You could write Java program for graphical user interface even without that, but Windows Builder definitely makes it easier. Okay, so we're going to do an Ice Cream Parlor, and let me just show you what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for this kind of Windows form in which excuse me, one group, when you go to Ice Cream Parlor, you're going to choose the ice cream size and the toppings, and obviously size you can choose only one at a time: kiddie cone, junior cone, senior cone, single scoop or double scoop. But there's no limit on toppings. You can have all of them. In fact, Baskins excuse me, Baskins and Robbins, I believe, has 61 different toppings, but we are only going to show 5 here. So you can actually have all of them or none of them, and when I process the order, it gives me how much I owe, in this case $10. I kept the math a little simpler: $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. Those are the prices of the sizes, and each topping $1, so that's why you end up with $10. Okay, so I want to show you elements of how to build this and how to do some coding with the button. The sample project I'm going to build is not going to have that many buttons or checkboxes. It's going to have much fewer, and I'm just going to show you some elementary part of how to write the code for those, and then we'll come back to this project and show you how nested if else has been done and how standalone if structure is required in this kind of project. Okay, so let's build another sample project. So in this case we do file, new. We don't actually build a Java project in this case, and I can see that without my mouse I'm gonna have a little bit of a problem. And I just say file, new, other, and I have already installed Windows Builder, so this Windows Builder icon will show up, folder will show up, and in that I go to SWT designer, or is it the and then under SWT, and oh, actually that's a different one. No, I'll go to under swing designer, sorry about that. So swing designer, and I pick the J-frame from there. Oh, okay, hold on a second. Sorry. And okay, looks like I didn't really make a project, so let me close this one. I think I was just adding the form to the existing one. File, new, project, actually that's what we have to do. And new new SWT JFace Java project, that's the one we need to do. Okay, and I'll just say Ice Parlor 2 and do the finish. And it's gonna be a little slow because a lot of RAM is chewed by the movie recording software. Okay, then we want to add a J-frame which is equivalent to Windows form in .NET, and then I say new and other, new, other, and this was already open. If this is closed, you can go to swing designer and click on J-frame, next. You can choose a form. I'll just call it form, that's good enough, and finish. So it's going to fill out some code for us automatically, and we don't need to worry about that too much. Let's go to the design view. If you go to design view, you see the blank form, and we have different layouts. When you do a Java GUI class, you will learn about them. I won't discuss them right now, but we have to give a layout to the form. So I right click and say set layout, and I just choose the absolute layout. Okay, so absolute layout means you can put components any way you like, and the code for that will be filled in the source here for you automatically. And now I want to make form a little bit bigger, of course, just to give me enough room. And when you drag and drop this like this, code is being filled behind the scene for you. Okay, so as you remember, we had two things. Actually, we had three things. We had radio buttons, we had checkboxes, and we had one button that did something when it was clicked. Alright, so radio buttons are right here. I can take one and okay, try it again, and click, drag it, and you don't have to drag another one. You can make a copy of this. So copy is Control C, and then Control V will paste it. And really, since I have this bigger project which has many sizes, I'm not gonna have more than two sizes here, so I'll just have two sizes. So let's select one size here. Notice that when I select an item, a property sheet for that item shows up here, and this will be a variable name for this radio button in the source file. Okay, but this is a kind of bad name. I'm not gonna use that. Let's say we have only two ice cream sizes, large. So also we want to see it's a large size, and possibly I can put the price there. So you can change the text property for that, and I can say large. In the parentheses I can put the price, $2. And as soon as I hit my enter key, you will see that over here the text property or the label will change. And there you go. You see large $2 here. If it's too small to see, just take my word for it, or you can see it here. Alright, there's no way for me to increase the fonts over here. I need to do same thing with this one, and its name is just radio button, but I'm gonna rename it RDBTN extra large, and then text property also extra large, and in the parentheses I'll put the price. Okay, maybe here 3.00, and as soon as I hit the enter key, you will see that this name will become something better than new radio button. And there you go. Okay, so here it's kind of showing dashes, so we just need to make it bigger. That's it. Anytime something doesn't show up in this view or in the when you execute, actually we should do that right now. We should execute that whether these labels are showing correctly or not. So we can run this right now, and looks like it's okay. Now buttons don't look, oops, you can, let's see, you can highlight, you can select them like this and move the group around. I want to move it just a little bit here, and that works beautifully. Okay, so one property radio buttons have that only one of them should be checked at a time. If you check one, the other should become unchecked, and for that they have to be grouped. But before grouping will be done inside the source code, we'll show that to you in a minute. But before that, they should be in some sort of container. So they're not like orphan like this. They are kind of sitting nicely inside some sort of panel. So what I do, I select this one, hold the control key, select the other, then right click, and I use something called surround with border. Surround with border. Okay, JPanel border, and that'll work beautifully. The only thing is it gives us this title that I don't like, and I do believe if I double click somewhere, I was able to change before. Okay. Okay. So title has to be, okay, I think I know where it is. So over here I can change the title. See, okay. Let me do it again. See, this title is bad. I don't want that. I want like something like choose one, because user is going to choose either large or extra large. So I click here just slightly, and I can change the title of that border. So choose one, and click OK, and that choose one works now. Let's choose one. I think you could choose fonts also, and let's see, let's try that. Foreground, okay, yeah, that's the colors. I don't think I'm going to go through that right now. Border has the fonts, so border type, Okay, actually for font I'll have to choose a font object. I'm not sure it can be done in the graphical view here, so let's not worry about that too much. Okay, now excuse me, let's do the same thing with the radio buttons. And I'm sorry, so for toppings they have to use the checkboxes. So done with the radio button. So for that I take the JChecks box, add that, and make a copy of this. Just select it so that this border shows up. Control C makes a copy, click outside, Control V, paste it, and now we can align them here. And let's say I'm going to have only 2 toppings, because in the other one we have 5, so we already have enough of those. So I'm gonna change that. So CHKBX will be there, but I want only 2 toppings, banana and change the text property so that this one shows banana. Oops, sorry. Okay, and you can change it here too. All right, and then the other one, CHKBX, strawberry, and same thing with the text block property, strawberry. And again, these 2 sitting around by themselves look a bit ugly, so I'm going to select these 2, right click, and do the surround with, and the border again. And once again I go to the border and change this title to toppings, and user can pick as many toppings as they like. So just actually don't have double click, 1 is fine, and just say toppings. And then okay. Alright, so we got, so we should now run it. I can move it up just a little bit to make sure that all the texts we have put so far fit. And by the way, in real projects you can change colors, fonts, sizes, a million different things. Don't have time to do all that. And so once you run, your radio buttons will come out like that, your checkboxes will come out like that. So right now these are not mutually exclusive. If I click 2, you can select both of them, but we're going to change that. But here of course you can choose both of them if you like. Okay. Nothing will happen by choosing to select the buttons only. We need something called a J button, or a button which we press that will process our order. Let's say, and actually I want to do one more thing here. I want to put prices here too, although in the other one I didn't. So let's just put them here. So let's assume, just to keep the math simple, each topping is $1. And there you go. So that's that. Okay. So user will pick either large size or extra large, or a 1 topping or 2 or 0 topping, and the price will be added accordingly. But nothing will happen unless there is a button here that we press to process the order selected in these checkboxes and radio buttons. That is done by something called J button. So we just click here. I'm going to call it BTN process order, and change the text property also to same thing, process order, and hit the enter key. And notice it's not showing all of it, so we're going to make it bigger this way and that way. Okay, and right now we can run our program to make sure that all the names are showing properly. So we click here, run, and looks like none of them are cutting off. Of course, right now it will do nothing because we have not told it to do anything. What happens is that buttons work when a method related to button is coded. It's called action performed, and in this GUI builder it becomes a little bit easier if I right click and say add event handler, and buttons have action and something called action performed. But before I do that, let me show you the code. Okay, so source code, notice all these things were not there. Button large got added, button extra large got added, a bunch of checkbox will be added, checkbox banana got added, and checkbox strawberry got added. All this code was added as we were working on the GUI builder. Okay, so that's the beauty of this whole thing. We don't have to actually type all this code, it was being done for us. You can of course type all this code as well. Okay, and I won't go through all the parts of the code because that would be part of your advanced Java class. Okay, so we go back to design view and notice, let's see, the button did get added. BTN process order, remember? What was on the face of the button gets here, and it got added to the content pane, which means it got added to our form. But there's no code after that. So as soon as I put an event handler, you will see some code right after the line 77. Okay, so right click and add event handler action, and action performed event handler needs to be added. And notice as soon as we do that, this piece of code got added, public void action performed, and this is our code window starting line 80, and whatever else I do here, that would be actually checking which size user used and which topping they ordered. Okay, one thing there is the way this is added. I'll need to work with checkboxes and radio buttons, but the way this has been added, I can't use as is. I have to put a word called final in front of these, in front of at least the radio button 1 and radio button 2. So final, otherwise they cannot be added to the anonymous class that we just created there. Final, and also same thing for checkboxes, because I need to check them inside the action performed. Final and final. And those of you who are not understanding most of it, don't worry, my only focus is to make sure that you understand nested if and else and standalone if and else. Otherwise, rest you will learn in more detail when you do advanced Java class. Alright, okay, so the goal here is that user will choose one of the sizes and 0 or 1 or 2 toppings, and then they will process order and their cost will show up, how much money they spent on their order. But for that we need some price variables. So we go back to source and we're gonna add them at the class level here, right here. So we'll add I think I'm gonna go back and see what I had there. $2 for the large, $3 for the extra large. So I just added two variables for that. Double. And if you like, you can make them finals so that they're constant, they're not changeable later. Final double. Price of large. Okay, since it's constant, I'll probably make it this 2.00 and final double extra large equal to 3.0. All the toppings were $1, so final double topping equal to 1.00. And then I'm gonna have to calculate the total cost of person's order. So this we cannot make final because that's the variable is gonna change. So we say double, oops, sorry, my mouse jumped. If it jumps again, I'll have to go and get the hand mouse. Total cost, that's the total cost they will be paying right now, of course 0.0 because nothing has been done. Okay, the other thing is we do need to okay, so notice that, let's go to design view. If I run it right now, two deficiencies that we need to correct before we go any further. First thing, you would like that at least one button is checked in the radio button, and second thing, you would like the capability that if one is checked, the other should be unchecked automatically. So let's fix those two problems. In order for radio buttons to be mutually exclusive, they need to be added to something called a button group. So we add a button group object grp equal to new and reason you see this red line because there's an include missing, import missing. So we import it and that disappears. So two radio buttons have to be added to this group before they are added to the panel. So I just do that, grp dot add and rdbtn large. So this one got added, and then same way I add the other one, which is the extra large. So yeah, so I say grp dot add, and this is rdbtn extra large, rdbtn extra large. Okay, and you will see that now if I run my program, although none of them will be selected, but at least selection will be mutually exclusive. So I can run it now and I select this one, but if I select this one, that got unchecked. So now they are behaving like real radio buttons, and if I check that, this will get unchecked. If I check that, that got unchecked. And that property should not be there in the checkboxes. You can select all of them or none of them. Okay? So that happens when you add them to the button group. The second thing is that we want one of them to be checked, hopefully the large one, as soon as the form opens. So for that, we can just say rdbt and large dot set selected, actually set selected. So we call a set selected method on that and put true, which means select this as soon as the form runs. And you'll see earlier they were both empty, but if I run it now, it will, large will be selected automatically. And can you see that now? The large is selected, pre-selected, and that looks a little bit more normal. That radio button, when you present radio buttons, one of them should be selected. And if I click extra large, that's got unselected. If I click that, this got unselected. So this is more normal. Okay. Finally, to add the prices, so we added that. Oh, something happened to my code. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, there it is. Yeah. So inside this anonymous extension of the button listener class, in this code 89 and above, we have to add the code to find out as to which button was pressed from the radio buttons, add the price according to it, and in checkboxes whether one was selected, both were selected, none was selected, doesn't really matter. So the way we do that, we do nested if and else for finding out which of the one radio button was selected. And since it's going to be nested if and else, I have that template here. So if RDBTN, that was the name, large is selected, come on, fill it out, dot is selected, if that is got selected, then I change the price, total price plus equal the large, LAR. Okay. Otherwise, else if, and it's a good idea to use else if because you may want to add more sizes later. So don't use just else. Else if, just leave it as else if. The other button, RDBTN, extra large, dot is selected. Is selected returns to us as true. So if this was selected, then is selected method will return it true, and this code will execute. But if RDBTN extra large was selected, then is selected method will return true. This will return false in that case. So this code will execute. So if that happens, I just say total cost plus equals extra large. Okay. So this way we have coded the price of the ice creams sizes. Okay. Now we need to do, so when we code price of ice cream sizes, either person will select large or extra large, only one of the many sizes. So only one of these should execute. But they can order 0 topping, 1 topping, 2 topping, 5 toppings. For toppings we have to check them individually. So those were the check boxes. So if CHK strawberry is selected. Is selected means they checked that one. Then we increase the total cost by the cost of the topping. So total cost plus equals TOPP topping. And same thing, we have to check individually using another if they chose banana. So if CHK, not the strawberry, Okay, banana. What was the name of the banana? CHK. Maybe I didn't have the BX there. Okay, I have to look it up then. Good. Design view. Huh, that's surprising. This project, right? Yeah, it's there. It's got to be there. Somehow my form disappeared. I have no idea why. Let me see. Oh, that's because this compiler is there. Okay, let me delete that. Sorry about that. That's why it did. Okay. Save everything. Go back to design. I'll find out the name. There you go. It's appeared. So banana was CHKBX banana. CHCK. Okay, I kind of messed that up just a little bit. CHCK. So next one we do is if CHCK BX banana dot is selected, if that is selected, then we need to add cost of another topping, and that will be total cost plus equals topping. Okay, we did that. So by the time the nested if else is over, individual else if is over, not a bad idea to format our code right now. So source format, there we go. My cost calculations are over here, so I can just print that. That is done in many different ways, but we'll use something very simple, something called JOption pane. So JOption pane dot show message dialog. First argument will be null, second argument will be whatever we want to show, and we just want to show cost of your order is $, and to this string we add the total cost, but of course we format it. We say string dot format, and okay, I can do this in 2 lines, of course. So first argument will be just the format string for the cost, and that would be %.2f, and the second argument will be the total cost, and this will just do it. And right now I will save my project and just run it. So large is selected. If they choose large and all the toppings, so cost should be $4, process order, and it does say $4, but if they choose one topping only, it'll be, oh okay, I think I have a little bug. I didn't set total cost to 0 inside when the button is pressed, so let's just fix that right now. So really I have to make sure that each time total cost is set to 0. Otherwise I'll get that. Or you can think that the cumulative cost of all the orders they make. So that could work too actually, but let's say we want to just make sure each order is different. Each order cost is individual. So large one topping should be $3. 3, okay. Then I change my mind to extra large. This should be $4, and it is $4. And then I said, okay, in extra large I want 2 toppings, and order should be 3 plus 2 is $5. Okay, so important thing is that to process the ice cream size and its cost, we had to use nested if and else. Okay, you couldn't do it any other way. You could do it actually without nested if and else, but that will be very inefficient. We have shown that in many ways. But there's no way to process the toppings, which could be 1, 2, or as many boxes they check, unless I use standalone if. Okay, so we're gonna close this one and take you to the other one, which we have done separately. And actually I have a little bug in that too. I have to set the total cost to 0 inside, so I'll fix that. And there we have more sizes and more toppings. So let's close that and go to this one. Let's hope it opens. If it doesn't open, well, it should be open. I'll just double click here. It's just slow, I think. Otherwise I may just have to. Okay, I may just have to open and close Eclipse. Come on. Open. Okay, no, it's not showing. Okay, there may be something. Okay, let me just close Eclipse and start it again. Okay, so let's do it again. All right. It will be slow. Okay, so wow, I have not seen this before. Okay, open. Okay, there we go. Wow, that was slow. I couldn't believe that. Alright, so here, this is the design view. This window builder is not the fastest thing ever. And there I had more choices, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sizes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toppings, process order. So let's look at the code, because that's more important than anything else. Go to source view, and these are the prices. Here prices are different. Kiddie cone $1, junior 2, senior 3, single scoop 4, double scoop 5. All the toppings are $1, and I need to make sure that that little bug we had in the other one is removed. So I set total cost to 0, total price to 0 each time. Okay, so notice that since I had 5 radio buttons, I have 5 set of if and nested if else. 1, come on, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And since I had 5 toppings, I have 5 standalone ifs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this program works just like the other one. All the elements are same. We just increased number of checkboxes and number of radio buttons. Okay? Otherwise, exactly same. So here, beginning to look more like real ice cream store. Well, let's say I choose single scoop, which was $1, $2, $3, $4. Each topping is $1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be $9, and of course it is $9. But let's say I don't have that much money. I'll keep these two, but I'll drop marshmallow, hot fudge, and chocolate syrup. So this is 1, 2, 3. So $4, $5, $6, and it's $6 now. Okay. You could put another button here to uncheck all the choices and check this one back. That's not very hard to do. We're not going to show that right now. So this is the situation. This is the kind of software where both nested if-else and individual standalone if both are needed. So don't get the impression that standalone if is useless. It's not. Software like this one, it is absolutely essential that we use that as well. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the future videos.